Hey everybody, this is your friendly neighborhood therapist Alfonso, and I have some information for you that I think you're really going to want to hear. It's about why you should never allow a relationship to cause you to lose yourself, yet you should lose yourself in a relationship. I know, doesn't sound right, does it? Hang on, be right back. I'm going to explain it to you. Cue the intro. Hey everybody, I hope that you all are already having an amazing day on purpose. Today is Saturday, I'm not sure, maybe the 19th of July. I want to talk to you today about something that I've been dealing with a lot in my private practice and even with friends of mine who've been asking relationship advice. You know what it's like when you have somebody who's a professional as a friend. You always want to kind of get those freebies in there. Did you know that relationships by default are supposed to make us better than what we would have been if we were not in the relationship? Let me explain. Whenever you decide to get into a relationship, it's supposed to be something that's what we call symbiotic. That's where the two people mutually benefit from this new alliance that we've developed. However, too many relationships end up with one person actually making a lot more sacrifices, a lot more changes. One of the things that I hear quite often in relationship counseling is, Mr. Lewis, I don't even know who I am anymore. Alfonso, I've lost myself. Well, a relationship was never designed for you to lose yourself. It was designed for you to enhance each other so that you can go to that next level. Now, let me explain what I said in the intro. A relationship has to develop its own identity. He comes with what's normal for him. She comes with what's normal for her. And then you have to develop what's normal for the relationship in the middle. Now, it doesn't mean that you forget or disavow every part of who you used to be. It means that you have to allow the relationship to organically develop its own character, its own nature. But that does not mean that you lose yourself. When we get in relationships, we do have to be ready to kind of wind down on some things, power down on some things, because when we get into a relationship, we're still single-minded. If we stay single-minded in a relationship, then everything we do in a relationship is going to be because it benefits the I and not the us or the we. You're supposed to be ready to change and adjust some things in a relationship in order to allow it to flourish. It's what's called terraform or terraformation. And that's when we change something from its natural environment to an environment that's conducive for us to now live here. You're going to terraform some of who you were as an individual, but not change so much that you lose yourself. Now, with that being said, you will have to make the kind of sacrifices that allow the relationship to now flourish. One of the things that I love to hear people say is that you and your wife seem like you've been friends for so long. Well, we've been married for 12 years. As a matter of fact, this Friday we'll be married 12 years. The relationship is supposed to take on this nature that when people see you, they can tell that you are in a healthy relationship by virtue of how you are talking about it, by virtue of the changes that you've made in your life. People will say, oh, you've been different since you've been in a relationship. Now, people are used to you being who you used to be. So when they see you change because of the relationship, it's human nature for them to sometimes wonder, are you losing yourself for the relationship? The relationship will cause us to sometimes change some things that may seem so out of character for people who were in our individual lives that they may question whether or not you're in a healthy relationship. But remember, the relationship is no longer about me, it's about us. If you're used to going to happy hour with your girls, with your boys, if you're used to chopping it up at 1 o'clock in the morning, calling and doing things like that, when you're single, then that's fine. But when you're in a healthy relationship, you have to develop a norm for that relationship. He or she may have a problem with you being out all the time. You're there for your friends, you're there for your family, but you're not there for your man, for your woman. So those things may have to change just a little. Once again, that terraformation, it may have to change just a little so that the relationship can build a strong foundation. Once it builds that foundation, then you kind of look at, okay, well, now how do I move in this area, move in that area? Your friends, your family may have to initially step back to allow your new relationship to take on its own character. If you're not careful, if you're not in a healthy relationship, then what you'll do, you'll see him or her as surprise. You'll change so much about yourself that you no longer recognize yourself. And I'm saying this with all the respect in the world. Not every relationship is going to last. Let me say it that way. I'm saying that you make sure you make the kind of changes to facilitate the development and growth of a relationship, but not so much so that you lose yourself, so that if something happened to that relationship, you no longer know how to function as an individual. So yes, you're not supposed to lose yourself in a relationship, yet you are supposed to lose some of those norms that denoted your single-mindedness so that you can now adopt a more relationship mindset. I have couples that who've been together for 35, 40 years. And I asked him, does he or she really know you? No, in all this time, they've never really known me. It's always been about him. It's always been about her. Sometimes you need to ask each other, how is your experience in this relationship going? Now, we're not going to always give each other everything that they want, but we do have to be ready to constantly change and refine and redefine how we do things singularly so that we're making sure we're allowing the relationship to continue to progress. I know it may sound like it's something that's oxymoronic, it's contradictory. No, it's not. Maintain enough of your individuality so that your individual signature is still there, but develop enough of that relationship mind so that folk know you are in a relationship and you are making those sacrifices to make sure your relationship continues on. Guys, nowadays, people are calling it quits because of what do they call it? Irreconcilable differences. When we really think about the things that's causing us conflict in the relationship, I want you to ask yourself this. Is what I'm doing a problem because it's too much of me and not enough of us? Or have I really thought about how much I need to change my individual thinking in order to give this relationship a chance of success? Hey guys, do me a favor. If this content means anything to you, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification button so that you can be notified when I post the next video. I'm going to put a video up here about how infidelity can absolutely, positively destroy a healthy relationship. You guys do one more thing for me. On purpose today, even if you have to go out of your way, on purpose, do something, reach out to help pick somebody else up. I give you my word, there's no greater feeling in life than the feeling of knowing that you've helped somebody who can't do anything for you in return. You guys have an amazing day on purpose. And if nobody else has told you today, let me be the first one to tell you, I love you. Be blessed.